Hello and welcome to the IT Shed. This is problem set 6, CS50P, short. So the object of this exercise is to convert these pictures, which are going to be called before, to these pictures, which are going to be called after. And we're going to do that by superimposing this t-shirt onto these Muppets. And that will be our final product. So as usual, we have instructions here, taking our arguments. We're taking two arguments here, two files, input file and the output file. Both are going to be JPEGs or PNGs. So this file is going to be our before, and this file here, output, is going to be our after. And then we're also going to use short here to superimpose upon it. So as usual, there's a couple of reasons here why we should exit the program. I'll let you read that because obviously this is your assignment and this is a demo of the program. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, before we start the video, I just want to say that at minute 16 I made an error when I had short pick dot size. Now that becomes apparent when you watch the video, but I have braces here in it and they should not be there. So I did fix this in the video, but I just want to mention it now in case you're following along and your program is throwing up errors. Okay, let's go back to the video. So I actually did this assignment a couple of months ago, so I'm just going to go over here and see what I did. Now, I'm not a developer, I'm just a student in CS50. So your assignment will most likely differ from mine. So we're going to use wget to get our short.png, and we're going to get our Muppets folder with our Muppets pictures in it. And it's going to be zipped, so we have to unzip it, and then we're going to install Pillow. All these instructions are in here. I think they could be under hints. Then we're going to use our import statements to import our different modules. So we're going to set argument variables. So as we see here, we're using sysargv1 and argv2. Now this is just a preference that I have. I'm going to set them to argument variables so that I can actually read them and understand what they do better. So then we're going to do what the program asks. We're going to check for exactly 2 command line arguments. We're going to capture the file extensions, and the reason we're capturing the file extensions is because we need to validate that the file extensions, and this is going to be case sensitively, are JPGs, JPEGs or PNGs. Then we're going to check that the input file exists, and we're going to check that the input and output file have the same extension. So that is as per the instructions here. So once all that's done, we're going to get the size of the short picture. We're going to use that size for that, and that's part of the Pillow module. And I'm going to change the image size to match that of the short size, and I'm going to transpose the short onto the image, and I'm going to save it as a new file. Okay, so let's begin. So I'm going to cd into my short folder. As I said, I have a short folder and I have short.py already in it. Now I'm going to get our files. So I'm going to start with short.png, paste that in there, and now we see we have short PNG. So that's our t-shirt, or our p-shirt that we're going to be using. So I'm going to do the same with our Muppets, copy it, clear, and paste it in there. So now we have it. So what I'm going to do now is clear so you can see it better. I'm going to unzip it. So I'm going to unzip Muppets.zip. So now we have in our short folder some more files. Muppet 1, 2 and 3, and they're named before 1, before 2 and before 3, the JPGs. So now we're going back to our program. So all this is done, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to have to now install Pillow. So I'm going to have to pip install Pillow. And Pillow is the module we're going to be using. So again, I'm going to clear this, paste, and pip install. Now that's done. So next thing we're going to do is our import statements. So oddly enough, we don't import pillow, we import pill. And from that, we're actually importing image and image operations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type from pill, P-I-L, in capitals, import image and image ops. So from pill, we're importing image and image ops. So I'll get rid of this here now, just to clear things up a bit. So now set our argument variables. Now, as we can see here, if we look here, we see Python short.py. So we're calling Python short.py, which is our program. And we're saying before.jpg, that's our in file. And after.jpg, that's our out file. So before.jpg is here, and after.jpg is here. And obviously these ones are when they're done wrong. So what I'm going to do here is set my argument variables. So I'm going to go in file, and I'm going to go out file. So I'm going to set in file to sys.argv1, and I'm going to set out file to sys.argv2. So remember, sysargv0 is our program, and sysargv1 is going to be in file, which is going to be, I'll put it here so we can see it, before.jpg or /png, whatever. And this one here, sysargv2, is going to be after.jpg or png. So 0 will be the program itself, which is short.py. I'll delete this. So now I'm going to check for exactly 2 command line arguments. So for this, I'm going to need to use sys to close it if it doesn't work. So here I'm going to import sys. So again, checking for exactly 2 command line arguments. I'm going to go if the length, so len, of sys.argv is smaller than 3, I'm going to go sys.exit, and in this I'm going to print out to the user too few command line arguments. And the reason we use 3 here is because remember we have actually 3 items here. We have 0 being the program, and then 1 and 2. So 0 program, in file is 1, and out file is 2. So altogether is 1, 2, and 3. So the next thing we need to do is we need to capture our file extensions, because we're going to validate the extensions. This is case sensitively are JPEGs, JPGs, or PNGs. So first of all, we need to see what extensions we can use. So I'm going to do extension types. And this is going to be a list. So I'm just creating a list of our extension types. So here are extension types. Now we're within inverted commas. We've JPGs, JPEGs, and PNGs. So this is our list of extension types that are valid. So now we're going to check. We're going to check for in file, and we're going to check for out file. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in file dot split. I'm going to use the split method, and I'm going to split at the full stop. So again, in file, which is this up here, and I'm going to split here at the full stop. So remember, this is our full stop. Okay, full stop. So we're going to capture the file name, and we're going to capture the file extension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign them to in name and in extension. So what will happen here is before we'll go in here, and the JPG, PNG, or CSV, or whatever happens to be, will go in here. And I'm going to do the exact same now for the after file. So I'll just copy, paste, and I'm going to say out and out. So you know what we're doing here, we're just capturing the, as I said, and splitting it at the dot here. So now we've captured the file extensions. So now we need to validate that the file extensions are correct. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to use another if statement. So if in extension and out extension not in extension type. So we're checking that in extension, which is this one here, and out extension, which is this one here, are not in extension type. So what we're going to do then, if they're not there, we are going to sys dot exit. I want to say invalid output. So we're going to check that the file exists. But before I do that, I'm just going to do this one. And we're going to check that the input and output files have the same extension. So for that, I'm going to go if in extension is not equal to out extension, then I'm going to sys.exit, and I'm going to say input and output have different extensions. I'm going to close this out of the way because it's actually getting a bit distracting. So before I go any further, I must go back up to this line here because this is supposed to be case insensitive. So no matter whether you put in PNG capitals or PNG or PNG, whatever way you put it in, it's supposed to make it case insensitive. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use dot lower, the dot lower method. So lower, and so in extension dot lower and out extension dot lower. Okay, now that I have that done, I'm just going to get rid of this because this is what we're just doing. Let's get rid of that. So now I need to check that the input file exists. So the way I'm going to do this now is I'm going to try and open both files. I'm going to open our in file, which is going to be our before JPG or PNG. And that again, in case we need a reminder, is this file. And I'm also going to open our shirt to make sure the shirt exists. So then I'll use a try and except statement with a file not found error to catch if it doesn't open because it's not there, then we'll know it doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable to capture our in file, which is going to be our Muppet. So I'll say Muppet photo. As per normal, you can call this what you like. So I'm going to open image. So I'm going to go image. That's the image module. Dot open. So image.open, it's in here in the hints somewhere. So I just went into the hints and I went to documentation and I searched documentation for open and I got this here, the open response. So it's image.open. So what I'm doing now is I'm opening in file. This is the file that's given at the command line. This is carv1. So it's in file. I'm going to do the same here with shirt picture. So shirt pic. Again, it's just a variable I'm naming. And I'm going to image.open. So what are we actually going to open? Well, we're going to open our shirt.png. So this is the shirt that we downloaded that's in here. So that's the shirt we downloaded, and we're going to superimpose this shirt on either this Muppet, or this Muppet. Like these are the files we downloaded in the beginning. So if I go back here, I'll open shirt.png. So I'm going to use a try and except statement. So try and I will indent using the tab, and I'll do except file not found error. And if we encounter file not found error, I'm going to sys.exit, and I'm just going to say input does not exist. So this should capture the file not existing. We're going to try opening our images, saving to the variables, and if it can't open because it's not there, then we get this error and we'll close. So that is that one done. So the last few bits, so we have to get the size of the shirt. So we have to make sure the picture isn't too big, and for that we're going to use .size. Again, it's in the pill documentation. So if you go in here, .size, yeah, the information is in here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where I found the information. It was so long ago, but it's in there, so trust me. So what I'm going to do is, what we did here was short pick. So I'm going to go short pick and .size. So that's getting the size of a short pick, and I'm just going to save that to a different variable called short size, so we can work with it. Assign it to that. So the next thing we need to do is change the size of the image to the size of the shirt. So I'm going to use image operation.fit. Again, it's in here. If I search that, there we go. That'll tell you what you need to do. So I'm going to go image ops.fit. So what am I fitting? So I am fitting Muppet photo here first. This is the photo of the Muppet. And I'm going to bring that down to the size of the shirt. So the size of the shirt is here in shirt size. That has been taken. So I got the short pick, and this method here got the size of the file, and it's kept in here. So I'm going to go shirt size. So this is going to convert this photo here of the Muppet to this size here. If I printed this out now, I get a size in length and width. Save that to a variable. It's going to call it Muppet. So our variable Muppet here is our Muppet photo at the shirt size. So now that I have the photograph of the shirt called Muppet, I'm going to paste onto it using .paste. And what am I going to paste onto it? Well, I'm going to paste onto it short pick. That's the picture of the shirt. Pasting onto it the picture of the shirt, but I have to do it twice. There's a reason for it, and I can't figure it out, to be honest. But anyway, I paste on the shirt. So I'm pasting the shirt onto the Muppet, and then I'm pasting it again. Now I think it's pasting it again is to do with the background more like you could look it up, it's on Reddit. If you can figure it out, fair play. So that is it, nearly done. The next thing I need to do is go Muppet.save, and I'm going to save it to outfile, because remember, outfile is after the JPG. So I'm going to save it to outfile. So again, we got the size of the picture using .size. It got the size of the picture in width and length, and put into this variable. That's that done. Once we had that done, we changed our image size, so our Muppet size, to match the size of the shirt. So we got, using image ops.fit, we got our photo of our Muppet, and we changed it to the size of the shirt using this here. We saved it into a variable. So in this variable here, Muppet, we have a picture of a Muppet, and it's the correct size. So then we superimposed this one here, transposed or superimposed our short picture onto Muppet using .paste. And we did it twice. I think it's to do with the, as I said, the background. And then we saved it to outfile. Okay, let's try running our program. Before we do, actually, I have to fix this short pick it's that size. There's no actual brackets there. So our files here, we got before1.jpg. So let's see, Python, and we're going to say shirt.py before1.jpg, and we're going to save it to after.jpg. It looks okay. Going here, and there we have a file called after, and there we have our Muppet with our t-shirt imposed in it. So if I was to try that again, and I just save it as a PNG, which it shouldn't now because it has to be the same, so JPEG or PNG, run it, and it says input and output have different extensions. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to actually test it. So let's scroll down here, check. Okay, we look to have all greens. So there we have it. We've changed our picture before one into after JPG by putting on this shirt. And there is the code. So thank you for joining me in this video, and hopefully I will see you in another one soon.